You love me?
I love my mommy.
Oh, baby.
You love me?
Yes.
What are you? Whoa, chill out!
What?
What are you doing?
It's just for Snapchat, you know.
Why are you recording though?
What's the issue?
Bro, if all my homies see that, they're not gonna roll with me no more.
Why not?
Taylor, bro, they don't think I roll like that, bro. Delete that.
Oh my gosh, it's not.
What are you trying to film for?
So you want a main set? Well, do you love your mama? If so, then Sett, the boss, might be the champion for you.
I'm undisputed.
Born from an Ionian Vastaya and a Noxian human, Sett was labeled as an outcast from the start. His birth appalled his mother's tribe, causing the family to be expelled. The humans of Ionia were no more accepting of the taboo union either, and the only thing that kept them from facing ridicule was the fact that Sett's father was an infamous local pit fighter. One day, though, Sett's father disappeared, and people stopped biting their tongues and started expressing their hatred for his very existence. Sett grew up quickly, becoming callous, and began using his fists to silence the insults. And one night, he snuck out to the Noxian pits and inquired about his father. Turns out, his father bought out his own contract to travel to more profitable pits in other regions. Burning with rage, Sett asked the arena's matchmaker for a fight, and from the moment he threw his first punch, the Beast Boy bastard was a pit fighting sensation and soon became the undisputed king of the pits. One night after defending his title, Sett presented his new demands to the Noxian matchmakers: surrender control of the arena to him. When they declined, Sett, did what he does best, and they eventually gave him control of the pit, and then split. The half-beast who reigned supreme in the pit now runs his illicit enterprises with the same iron fist. Anytime someone challenges his authority, he personally reminds them where they stand. Every punch Sett throws is a blow to his old life of poverty and ostracism, and he intends to make sure that old life stays down. So, TLDR, he's a mama's boy with daddy issues who likes to fight. I think we can all relate to that on some level. Sett's passive is Tough Guy. Sett regenerates 5% of his missing health per second. His basic attacks alternate between his left punch and his right punch. Sett's right punch gains 50 bonus range, attacks at 8 times the left punch's speed, and deals bonus 80 damage. And here's the math. Sett's Q is 2-tap. Sett empowers his next 2 auto attacks, gains bonus range, deals bonus 80 damage, gains 30% bonus movement speed towards enemy champions. It's an auto reset, it resets his passive, and punching math. This is your main farming and skirmishing ability for dishing out damage early and running down opponents. You know, you just run up and just, pop, you hit him with the 2-piece, the bam, bam, Muhammad Ali style. Sett's W is Dragon Punch. Sett stores 100% of damage taken as grit up to 50% of his max health, decaying by 30% every second after 4 seconds. Actively, Sett consumes all the stored grit, shields himself for 3 seconds, unleashes a blast and a cone that deals 80 damage, but the enemies in the center of the cone take true damage instead, and grit math. This is literally just the best ability in his kit. Absorbing a bunch of damage in a trade from enemy champions or from the minion wave, and throwing it back in the enemy's face. Oh, and true damage can't be mitigated by armor or magic resist, so your opponent just has to eat it unless they have a shield. Isn't that great? It's great. Sett's E is Now Kith. Sett pulls in enemies at both his front and back, dealing AD damage, slowing them by 50% for 0.5 seconds. If Sett pulls in an enemy on both sides, they are both stunned for 1 second. This is your setup tool. You walk up, you pull your enemy laner into their minions to stun them and follow up with Qs and powered autos, rinse and repeat to whittle them down. Sett's ultimate is Slam Jam. Sett dashes to the target, suppressing them, becomes unstoppable by the way, leaps into the air and slams the target down, creating a massive shockwave. Enemies in the epicenter take 80 damage, but enemies hit by the edge of the shockwave take 75% reduced damage. All enemies hit are slowed by 99% for 1 second. It deals bonus damage based on the grab's enemy bonus health, and welcome to the math. This is, for, lack of a better term, the finisher in a 1v1 against your enemy top laner. And trust me, there is nothing better than slamming a tank into their team for massive damage. But you might be asking, how do I play Sett? lane, you want to focus on farming and trading with your opponent. Sett rewards you for fighting in the enemy minion wave since you can stun the enemy with your E, and the minion damage stacks your grit. Your basic trading combo is to pull in with E, hopefully stun, auto Q, auto. If your opponent tries to all in you, just smack them with true damage from your W and soak the damage with the shield. Your ult can be a great disengage and escape tool too. You can escape a gank by getting behind a target and ulting towards your tower because your ult is unstoppable, by the way. Mid and late game, try to peel for your carries and look for high health targets and angles to land a good high damage ult to start off team fights. Ult a high health target into the enemy team, stun with E, follow up with Q autos, and finish up with a bunch of free true damage from W. For maxing order, I go QWE. Q for more damage and lower cooldown, W for more damage, and E to lower the cooldown because it really isn't a priority ability. In terms of runes, here's what I like to take on Sett. Conqueror gives you plenty of damage and sustain in trades, Triumph for healing on kills, Alacrity for more attack speed, Last Stand lets you do more damage when you're low on health, and then the second wind stacks with your passive for more healing, and Unflinching gives free resistances, which is just the icing on the cake. Speaking of sustain, this is what I like to build on Sett. Blade of the Rune King gives you lifesteal and attack speed, and makes tanks cry. Gore Drinker gives you plenty of Omnivamp, especially when you're in the middle of the enemy team, which you will be a lot. Death's Dance to reduce damage and healing, Titanic Hydra for more health and damage, and finally a Thornmail for armor and damage. But if you want to have fun, yeah, I know, having fun in League, I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. You can build mathematically correct Sett and be tanky and do a shit ton of true damage. Now let's talk about matchups. In my opinion, scary word I know, Sett's 3 worst matchups are Olaf, Riven, and Warwick. Yes, Warwick top is a thing and is a bad matchup due to his passive's lifesteal and attack speed. He will out-sustain you, especially if he takes Ignite, so be smart when engaging with him. A good Riven will straight up outplay you if you're not careful, with her animation cancels and ultimates execute, her AoE stun, and her third Q knockup. Seriously, a good Riven is fucking scary, so just stay alert and make it through lane phase without dying too much, and you should be okay. I don't really have too good of advice for the Riven matchup, because I suck at it myself. Olaf, though, is by far Sett's worst matchup. He's the terror of top lane right now, with his Q shredding armor, his E that does true damage, passive lifesteal, a shield and attack speed from his W, and an ult that makes him immune to CC for a short time. Try not to get hit with axes, because he will run you down if one connects, and be mindful of his W because the shield gets bigger the less health he has, making it even harder to kill him. Sett is a fairly new champion, so he doesn't have a lot of skins, but they go as follows: Gundam, Karate Man, Super Saiyan, Hot Boy Summer, Jasmine Dragon, and is that a Jojo reference? Sett is scary because he's a tank. A tank that can burst low health targets, which sounds like an oxymoron, but this is Rito we're talking about, so probably makes sense to them somehow. Plus, the durability update has made tanks pretty busted, Sett included. But don't take my word for it. Try him for yourself. I'm the wild card, and as always, I'll see you on the Rift.